So this video is going to be quite a meaty one because it's about pages. I'm in Pages in the left-hand menu, and we can see all the pages that we have created for your website. And you've got quite an in-depth website with lots of small pages with small amounts of info, but it's all separated into a structure, or a structure, sub-pages, sub-pages, etc. I'm going to show you how to add a new page, but first I'm going to show you how to edit a page. So once you've gone to all pages, you can check any page that you like. Let's as an example go to recreation areas and playgrounds, and you can it's very similar to the post, so you can quick edit to change the title. The trouble with this is once you do that, please make sure that you go to the appearance menus to make sure that any menu item has the correct link or title as it is. So we're going to cancel that. We're going to press edit. And this loads up the editing page. Now this looks a lot different from your posts page, and the reason is we are using what we call the Divi builder. So if we weren't using the Divi builder, it would look very similar to your posts page. But because we're using the Divi builder, we have this interface, which I really like, but please don't try using this on a mobile phone or an iPad because it can get very tricky. It's much easier to edit on a normal website, and I've learned that from hard experience, so please learn from my mistakes. So this is what the page looks like, but in a symbolic form. If we go to the bottom, we've got some stuff here that you don't need to worry about that. Please don't look at that. Don't worry about that. And on the right, you've also got some other things. The only things you really need to worry about is the parent page. So make sure that this is in the correct hierarchy, and recreation area and playgrounds is a part of the amenities committee, which is part of committees. So that's in the correct place. You don't need to worry about template. You don't need to worry about Divi page settings. And the published, you can edit the time that it was published, but you shouldn't need to because pages don't tell anyone when they were published. So let's actually navigate to the page that we're in. So we're in recreation areas and playgrounds, which is part of the amenities committee. So let's go to that page. Okay, so this is actually quite a good page to look at because we've got a few different elements here. At the very top is your top bar, your header, and that is denoted with a bright green section. The reason it's bright green is because it's a universal section. If I change something in here, it would change on every single page that has this header, which is all of them apart from the home page. Every single page has to have a header because if it didn't, it wouldn't have the menu, it wouldn't have the logo. And you would end up being at the page without any way to meaningfully navigate back towards the website. So we need to make sure that it has a header, and the logo bar is what contains your logo, and the menu bar is what contains the menu. Now we come to the main section of the website, which is with a blue left-hand side. The blue left-hand side denotes a standard section. If we had a full width section, which we really wouldn't be using on your website because everything should look very similar, it would be purple, but a standard section is blue, and we could create a new standard section. We could create a different column structure. Let me show you that very briefly. So at the moment, we've got a standard section that is a one column. And if we look here, we've got one column. We haven't got anything separated. This might look like it's separated, but I'll show you how that's happening later. If we wanted two columns, when we go here, we would select two different columns, and we can go up to 4 columns. The reason we can't do more than 4 columns is it just Divi has just decided that 4 is the maximum really for usability and readability. You can do 5 columns, but everything starts to get very squished, and we can't do 5 columns with Divi, not without going into coding itself, and it's not really a usable thing, especially for you guys who want to be able to edit your website without having to go into code. So these are the options that we have, and usually your website tends to be a 1 column section, so we're going to delete that. We don't need that. Inside the columns, in fact, I'm going to create a 2 sections so that you can see. You can actually move these around. and that would be in a left-hand column, and that would be in a right-hand column now. Now we're going to put those back because we don't need to do that. But that's how separate columns would work. So let's close that down. Okay, so text, map, text, what do they relate to? If we have a look at the page, we've got some text, we've got a map, and we've got text. So that's what they relate to. If we wanted to edit this top text, then we would go into top text, and how do we edit? We find the three bars. If we click this, you can see the pop-up there, it says clone module, and that's exactly what it says. It's just going to copy text. So we would have exactly what is written there, but it would be written twice. And that can be useful when you want to just change one thing or change one link, but you want it to look the same. So, but we don't need that for now, so we'll remove that with the X. And to edit, we press the 3 lines. Now, text modules make up a lot of your website, so it is worth having a look. Don't worry about these settings because they're just general. And anything in here you can actually edit directly in the window. Now, this should look pretty similar to this, and it does. I mean, there's a little bit of formatting change, but when you actually go ahead and edit this, you don't really need to worry too much about it. If you want to make something bold, you highlight it and click bold, and you've got italic, you've got strike through. You can make a bulleted list. It's just like editing in Microsoft Word. You've already seen links, and that would be to remove link, or you could press the X when you have a link. And you don't really need to worry about these at all. These are just sort of extra bits of code. Please don't worry about them. Don't get too much into them. Now, this is a heading. We could make it a bigger heading or a smaller heading, or you could make it a normal text, which is a type of paragraph. We've got underline, justify, text color, again, the sorts of things you would see in Word and paste. Clear formatting and special characters. They're not really things that I use very often, but special characters would bring up a menu like this. So let's close that. Types of paragraph, if you want to increase and decrease the indent, just like you would for a list. And you've got undo and redo. Now, there is a list of keyboard shortcuts if you want to look at that there. That is there. When you go into your text, you might see something that looks a bit like this. And that is because I quite often do things in code. That's the way my brain works. I'm a geek. So if you see something in text, don't worry, don't panic. Click the visual tab and it goes back to how you might feel more comfortable editing. Very, very occasionally, there might be things that you do need to edit in text, but those should, I think I've ironed out all of that stuff, so you shouldn't really ever need to go into text. But if you do, please just email me or call me and I will help you out. You should be able to do the vast majority of things in the visual editor. And again, this is just like posts, you can add media. So if we close that, because we haven't actually made any changes, if we go into this text, which is this text here, you can see that these pictures are right aligned, like you had in the post that we demonstrated. So these are right aligned, and you can see that in here we've got items in bold or text in bold, and then text in normal, just to make it break up a little bit. We haven't got any links in here, but you've seen how links work in the previous post. I'm going to show you one last type of link, and it's to do with an email. So say, for example, of here we've got please contact mail at website.co.uk, and please forgive my slow typing because I'm trying to type around a microphone. So you would then highlight the email address that you've just put in, insert edit link. Now this has automatically put a URL in for you, and that's because it's recognized that it's an email, and this mail to ... means that it's a special link that when the user clicks on it, they will automatically be taken to their email program, and this email address will be automatically put into the to box of their email, of a new email. So that's why links that are emails tend to be a little bit special. So we'll close that down because we don't want to actually change anything.